Hey everybody, Nick here. Welcome back to the channel. So, it's already bad enough that we have to live in a world with so many issues, so many, you know, things going on that we cannot stand, that we can't control, just so much suffering, things that it just doesn't make sense sometimes. But one of the things that really is just so annoying about life is the fact that there's always problems, no matter what you do. There's always problems that have to be solved, problems that have to be resolved, things that need to be sorted out, and there's no escaping it. It's like every day something happens, even the smallest thing. And I can give like hundreds of examples, and I'm sure you guys could think of examples as well. Everyday things that you got to deal with, and sometimes they're good problems, little problems. Sometimes they're just problems that are so damn annoying, and they come out of nowhere sometimes. Before I was just filming this video, I had something in my eye, and I couldn't get it out. I don't know if it was an eyelash, I don't know if it was dust, and it's just, I know, people are gonna say that's part of life. This is how the world is. And okay, but it's really annoying. And the only way we can deal with it is just to roll with the punches and just solve the problem. Or, sometimes there's problems that don't really have a solution. And there are gonna be those people that say, well, every problem has a solution. I don't believe in that. What is the solution for if our sun is about to die and explode? What? Leave the planet and go somewhere else? Because I just read an article about NASA saying that we have 5 billion years left. The sun has 5 billion years left. Like, they do these things to kind of worry people, and then it says like 5 billion years. It's like, we won't even be here. Again, some problems are fabricated. Some problems are really not as bad as they seem. For example, you go do a medical test and you're worried about the result, and you're all super worried about it, waiting for the results. When you think the worst is going to happen, you find out nothing. Yeah, everything's fine. And it's those type of problems I cannot stand as well. I don't really like any problems, especially the ones that come out of nowhere and you don't expect it. A lot of people probably take the mentality that I can handle any problem that comes my way. That is a good mentality to have, but my point is, why do we have to deal with it every day? Why does there always have to be something? Why does it always have to be something that we have to figure out? Or I'll give you another example. All my taxes were done. Everything was on the up and up, and then I owe the government money and I didn't even know. Something. It's so irritating, and I don't think there's any really real solution, because every time you turn around, there's a problem that will happen. How do you know? I was just talking about doing a medical exam. A few years from now, you might have a serious medical problem. You can't really prevent it. You could eat healthy and take care of yourself, but something could still happen. There's just so many variables to this existence that problems happen every day. Things could seem so good right now, and then boom, 3 problems hit you right away. A bill comes in that you didn't even realize that you did not pay. And that is a constant problem, by the way, is bills all the time. You can't escape that at all. You can't escape bills. You can't escape taxes. Unless you evade taxes. But then there's other problems that come as a result of that. Do you see? That's another thing. If you leave a problem, even as small as it may seem, unresolved, a bigger problem comes down the road because you didn't solve that initial problem. But it's just, man, every day there's something. Every day there's something. I did a video talking about there's always something that you have to take, always something that you have to do, like chores and things. I would say that is a problem too. It's just annoying, man. You spend so many of your hours having to do things that you don't want to do already, like working or whatnot. And how much time do you really get to enjoy your life when you're just resolving issues, solving problems, working all the time, having to, if you have kids, you got to deal with that. You really get no time for yourself, and that's a problem. I just, life is all problems. And I do watch a lot of, or listen to a lot of Alan Watts, which is the British, really popular British philosopher. And he's really good. I know a lot of my viewers watch him as well, or listen to his audio classes and whatnot. And he talks about problems amongst many things, but problems specifically, how problems don't exist, how it's an illusion, and we are the makers of the problems. Every single problem that goes on, we're pretty much, the makers of it. It's not a problem unless we consider it a problem. I think I'm getting that right. I haven't watched that talk in a while, but I can see some truth to that. I mean, I don't always agree with everything about that he says or anybody else, but I really do find that we are makers of our own problems. Look at the bills, for example. The bills come from, and the working 9 to 5 and the, that rat race stuff is all, humanity created. We created this ourselves. We've put ourselves in these predicaments. It's amazing to me how a lot of people can't see that and just like, wow, that's the way it is, that's the way it is. And that's the other thing. Whenever it's a problem that, it's happened to me here in Brazil, but quite a few times. And when it's a problem that no one wants to face, they don't want to go through because usually when you're going to deal with a problem, little other problems come in the road, as roadblocks to solving that problem. And some people will just say, what are you going to do? And they don't want to be bothered. That's very common here. I mean, that's common in a lot. I mean, humans in general, it's just like sometimes they don't want to be bothered. Sometimes the juice is not worth the squeeze, I guess, as they say. So, and I think that's important too. You got to pick and choose. Sometimes you can't always, but try to not take on these problems that really, it doesn't matter. It's just better to let it go. Otherwise, that can cause some real unwanted stress and suffering, unnecessary suffering and stress. That it's not worth it. All of us are always going to deal with problems. There's no way we can escape it. Who knows what tomorrow will bring? I mean, the day isn't even over here today, and we'll see. We'll see what problems come today. A lot of times we don't imagine a problem arising, and whammo, right in your face. It's just, problems can be unpredictable. Problems can be, like I said, big and small. Some problems can be not so bad to deal with, not so much of a headache. And then there's this problems where it's just like, my God, and there's the constant problems. There's the problems that every day, where you're constantly worrying about somebody who you care about, because they are, maybe they're fighting an illness, maybe they are in debt and they can't pay them, they're at risk of going homeless or whatever. That's a problem because you can't solve that for them. Not necessarily. I mean, sometimes maybe you can. And man, problems are annoying. Most problems, I would say like 99% of problems are annoying. And the other thing is, some problems you just have to wait it out as well. You have a noisy neighbor, for example, that's a bad example. Let's say that they're having a one-off party and you don't really feel like listening to noise or something. It's not an everyday thing, so you're not going to try and solve that problem. It's going to pass. So you just have to wait for it to pass. There's those type of problems too, where you just have to wait for it to pass. It's not exactly needs your attention, and it'll resolve itself in some cases. Sometimes the problems do resolve themselves. For example, you have a pain in your side or whatever, and it's nothing serious. You just have to deal with the pain, take a rest, stretch it, and it'll go away. I don't know. Some will say that problems make life a little bit more interesting. Maybe so. I would still rather just be left the hell alone and not have to deal with really irritating problems, having to go grocery shopping. Sure, that's a chore, but if you don't do it, you have no food in your place, just too many things to have to resolve in life. The other problems is when people put their problems on you. It's like, do you know that I already have enough problems to deal with? I don't need to deal with your problem. There's those types of people, and it's like, sorry, that in itself is a problem when other people want to put their problems on you. Excuse me. The only way that the problems end is when life ends. I mean, people will say, well, if I get a lot of money, that solves problems. Yes, but then other problems happen, rich people problems, or first world problems, I guess is what they call it. And it's just amazing that problems can be categorized in many different ways. I think that's the only time that problems will ever go away, is when you die and this all ends, or if we're in some sort of simulation that shuts down. I don't know. I mean, there's no way really to avoid problems at all. There's just no way. And some people think money will solve problems. Sure, it solves these problems. It'll pay your bills off. You don't have to worry about that problem. You just have the money there. But that brings problems that you've never experienced before. I don't know. I think the worst type of problems for me as well which are the most stressful, is like if you have a pet or something like that, and you see them suffering, and then you got to take them to the vet and hope that you can, get them better. I think for me, that's the worst problem, because it's not something you can really solve on your own. Whereas paying bills, you just got to make sure you get the money, which is easier said than done. But when it's emotionally involved, those are some of the worst problems. Or it's when it's your health too, because, I mean, let's be honest, you don't have good health in this human experience. Things are just going to be that much worse. Anyways, guys, I think I'm going to leave it there. And let me know what you think about problems. Surely you've got problems. Everyone's got problems. Some people have mental problems. Some people have, it's one of the things I really, really dislike about this reality. And unfortunately, humans are the makers of most of this world's problems. But let me know what you think. Hit the like if you liked the video, and I'll be coming out with another video very soon. Everyone, I hope you'll stay well, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.